Hey guys, TSL here and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video we will be continuing and hopefully finishing the quests as promised last time. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first thing we're going to do is add some functions to our quest. So say function new quest colon perform dialogue. And we'll say if our new quest dot state, so I guess we could do if self dot state is equal to done with this giver, then we'll do type quest dialog colon fire client. And we want to fire on the player. We'll make it say find the next quest giver and true. And we'll say else if self.state is equal to no more quests. Then we'll basically do a similar thing. So we'll copy this. And this will just say no more quests available. Okay, and at the end of both of these we would want to return just to exit out of here, and that should be good for that. We will make this event in a little bit, so don't worry about that right now. We'll say self.current dialog plus equals 1, and then if our state self.state is equal to hasn't finished, then we'll do type quest dialog fire client, and we'll do player self dot not finished text and true, and then we will return. Next we will say our local dialog is going to be equal to self dot dialog self dot current dialog, and we'll say local is last dialog is equal to if self dot dialog self dot current dialog plus 1, then false else true. And then we could do if is last dialog, then self colon add to quest list, and this is going to be a function that we will create in a second. And then finally, without any conditions, if we make it this far, then we will want to just type the dialogue that we should be typing. Okay. So before we make this, actually we'll make that now. So what I'm gonna do is place in the GUI that I have for the quests from my other game into here, and I'll just go over it with you quickly. So let's just make this visible to false, the stats frame here. And then in our quest frame we have two things. We have the dialogue and we have the quest frame. The only thing we're going to worry about right now is the dialogue. So I'll make this visible, or it is visible, it's just at the negative 0.5 position on the X so that we can slide it in. This is just a picture for the quest giver. So anyways, in here we have just UI corner, you don't have to worry about that. This was for the outlines. There's other ways to do it now, but that's back then. Anyways, in this, or you could just have it in your dialog, we have a text label, or text button actually, and we named it dialog, and inside this script, or inside this button, we have a quest dialog script. Now there is quite a bit of stuff in here, so I'll go over it with you in a second, or actually right now is what I meant. So first things first, you can see we have a type quest dialog and a server events continue quest dialog. So let's go ahead and go into replicated storage and make those events. So we go into our client and our remote event. We will add a new remote event here, and we will call that type quest dialog. That's the same thing that we were using in our quest module just a second ago. And then we can, in our server events, we can add another remote event, and this one will be called continue quest dialog. Alright, so now we got these done, and here we have some extra variables. So just the player, that's obvious. The text, this is the actual text button, so where the text will be displayed, and you're also going to click on that to continue. And by the way, this is a local script here, so that we can use the local player. What did I just do? Anyways, we're just making some reference variables to different parts of our UI. So our background is going to be this. Remember, that was just used to fill because the actual frame here is that lighter pink to make the border. Anyways, that shouldn't really be too important because then we get the dialog frame, which is just the background.parent. So if you guys don't have a background thing, then your dialog frame would just be your text.parent. Anyways, now we have some different positions. We have an active position, an inactive tween position, and an inactive position. So when it's active, this should be the position that the UI is at, for me at least, because if we go to our dialog frame properties, you see I have the anchor point set at 0.5 and 0.5. So I'm using this as the height, and this is going to stay as the height at all times. Basically, the only thing that's changing is this. When it's active, it should be in the middle of the screen, so at 0.5. When it's inactive, it should be at -0.5 or fully off the screen. And then it tweens to 1.5, which basically just makes it tween. It goes out to the right. So basically, what this would look like when you click to, or when you start talking to the quest giver, it will slide in from the left to the center. And then when you finish talking, it will slide out to the right. Anyways, I'll bring this back to 0.5 for a little bit, and we can continue going over this. Now we just have some Boolean variables, is typing and last dialog, and that will make more sense in a second. Here we're just making a simple typewriting function. I'm sure you've seen something like it before, but if not, well, I'll make sure to go over it. So first things first, you want to clear the text of any text that has been written prior. And then we will set our isTyping variable to true. And if not text to type, so if text to type is nil for some reason, then we just want to cancel and exit out the function. Next, we will get the length of the string, which is just string not len. This stands for length, and we're just going to get the length. Here we have a wait time variable. This is actually how long you want to wait before each character types. And then we're just going to split the string at every character. Technically, this is not something that even has to happen. We could actually just get rid of this completely. And then here we will just do our, here we would just do our text to type, and we wouldn't need that, and it should work the same. Anyways, we were setting a for loop here. Basically, the I equals 1 makes I start at 1, and the comma length will make it stop at the whatever this. So let's say the length of our string here is 6, then this will go from 1 to 6. Anyways, if typing is false, then our text.text should be the full text to type. That means that we have typed everything, and we could break out the for loop. Otherwise, then we will just we'll concatenate the next letter in our text. This means concatenate equals, so that's basically just a shorthand So we're going to concatenate this. This represents the next letter, and we'll concatenate that to our text, and then we will wait the next wait time before we do it all again. At the end of the function, we set isTyping to false because we are no longer typing. Okay, so our next thing is a function typeQuestDialog, and this is going to be the thing that actually controls this remote event over here. So in this typeQuestDialog, we take in two parameters, the text-to-type and the isLastDialog, and we already knew that from here. So this is the text-to-type when we have no more quests, and isLastDialog is true. What we use that for is that if it is the last dialog, then that's when we tween it off. So if dialog frame position is not equal to the active position, so if the frame is currently not active, then we want to set it to the active position, or tween it to the active position actually, and then just wait half a second because that's how long we are taking to move the UI there. Then we will set last dialog to isLastDialog, and this is last dialog, so this will become true if isLastDialog is true. isTyping will be false at first automatically, and then we will call our typewrite function that we just looked at with the text-to-type that we passed in here, or that we passed in from here. So that's it. That's a pretty simple function over there, and then this is just to actually like control some of the logic for continuing. So basically what this does, on mouse button click, so whenever you click the text box, it will check if you're currently typing. If you are, or like if it is currently typing, it will set isTyping to false, and it will just return out the function, right? So basically the thing that we are trying to, basically this is going to stop the typewriting thing and just basically skip past it, because as we're checking here, that's what this is for, right? Because normally isTyping would never be false before all of this happens, right? But unless we set it out here with clicking on it. So basically, essentially what happens, you click on the thing, isTyping becomes false. Because of that, we finish typing all the things without actually typing it, so it just appears, and then we break out the function. Anyways, next we are checking if this is the last dialog. If it is, then we will use our continue dialog event, which we will make in a second. And our dialog, and if it's not if it is the last dialog, then we want to tween the dialog frame out to the inactive tween position. So that means going out to the right, and then after half a second, which is how long the tween takes, we will set the position to the inactive position, which is all the way back on the left side of the screen, off the screen, so that we can tween it back in from the left. And then we set last dialog to false, and here we are just connecting to our dialog event and to our text buttons mouse button one click event, and that is the reason why this text box here is a text button and not a text label. Anyways, that was kind of a lot, so I apologize for that, but now we will set this back to -0.5 and we will continue on. So the first thing we would do is work on our continue quest dialog. Actually what we're gonna do is make a quest giver real quick. So we're going to go into our avatar section here in rig builder, and we will just do a block avatar. We will grab this guy and we'll just put him here, I guess. We can name him quest giver, and inside of him we will add a script. This script will be called like give quest. Okay, so to start off, let's list out some, that's not the right button, let's list out some services that we will be using. We will be using the player service, game colon get service players. We will be using replicated storage, and we will be using server storage for our modules. we will load some modules here. We'll say our modules equals to ss:" first child modules, and our local quest module is equal to require modules dot quests. And now we will get some remotes. We will do local remotes equals to rs.remotes, local r events equals to remotes.events, or actually we did it a little different. We would do remotes.server.events, and then we'll have our local continue dialog event equal to server or our events dot continue quest dialog. Then we'll just have some regular old variables here. We'll have hitbox, and what we're gonna do is go over here and we will insert a part, and I'm just gonna scale it around a little bit. So this will give you some options if you want to do a touch event when it touches this part, or if you just want the part here, because you could like make him stop a little in front like most games do. Anyways, I'll like leave it like this, and we're gonna use a proximity prompt. So anyways, we will call this hitbox, and we will just throw it inside the quest giver and throw our give quest script inside of it. And then in here we will have an attachment and a proximity prompt inside of that. This prompt, it will have a hold duration of 1. Action text will be like talk, I guess. Object text, talk to quest giver. You could put like the quest giver name here or something. And keyboard key code E, yeah, that's good. Alright, that's fine. Requires line of sight, yeah, that should be good. Hitbox is equal to script.parent now, and our local attachment equals to hitbox.attachment, and our local prox prompt is going to be equal to attachment.proximity prompt. Here we'll have some local debounces. This will be similar to the ones we used in our remote handler script. A local cooldown will be 5, and local quests will be this, just a blank table for now. Here we'll make some functions. Our function on prompt triggered. So when we trigger the prompt, as the name suggests, it will give us a player, and if our debounces for the player dot user ID and debounces for the player dot user ID is less than os.time minus our cooldown time, or debounces player dot user ID is equal to nil, then alright, so basically if we have a debounce, then we want to check that we can actually use it, that we have passed the cooldown time, or if we don't have any debounces, then we could just use it anyways. So then we will set our debounces. You know what, I don't feel like typing that again. Debounces player user ID equal to os.time, so the current time in seconds, and then our local quest will be equal to quests module dot give quest to our player. Then we'll do quests player dot user ID equal to quest, and we will do quest colon perform dialog. These are functions we already made in the quest module before. Anyways, let's continue. We're almost done. We just need a local function continue dialog player. Our local quest will be to quests player dot user ID. If not quest, then warn couldn't find any quests for player dot name and otherwise quests colon perform dialog. Okay, so let's do a little bit of explaining real quick. So we already went through what this line does. Anyways, here we're just setting the debounce to the current time in seconds. We're getting our quest from our quest module. We're giving the next quest to our player, and then we are setting the current player, so the player.userid's quest in the quest table to their current quest. So then when we call this continue dialog function, we can get the quest from this quest table. And the way we're going to be calling this function is with the remote event. So proxPrompt.triggered :connect on prompt triggered, and then for the continue dialog event dot on server event :connect continue dialog. This could also be a local function. Okay, so this should be good now. Yeah, let's go ahead and go over here to our quests module now, and we are just going to get our remote event, our type quest dialog. Up here, we'll have some local events or local C events, CR events. Client remote events will be equal to rs.client or rs.remotes.client.events, and we'll do local type quest dialog equals to CR events dot type quest dialog, and that should do that. Okay, so let's take a look at if anything is happening. Any errors right now? Okay, we have, that's okay. We have events is not a valid member of, okay, so because we did this a little differently in this game, our events, client events should be rs.remotes, so remotes.client.events, and then this would be remotes.server.events, I think. Okay, let's alright, well, we have to anchor that, but anyways, this is what it should look like. Alright, and it comes up, and then we have a little error here. So attempt to concatenate string with nil. Okay. So if we actually open that up, that should be the script, yeah, right here. Do we need, maybe we do need to split in Roblox. Sometimes, I'm sorry guys, sometimes I get confused with all the other programming languages. They work slightly different everywhere. So if we actually did need to split this, then I apologize for that before. So yeah, we'll just split it every character and then get that. And maybe now. Okay, and it's typing it out. Our city has, alright, if we click, then it finishes. Alright, attempt to call missing method, perform dialog of table. I probably just made a spelling error. Oh, this. No, okay. Oh, we did it on our quests instead of on our quest. Okay. It was a spelling error, just in the wrong place. So anyways, we go over here. Thing slides in. It starts typing. I click and it finishes typing. Same thing. Okay. Attempt to call missing method, add to quest list of table. Alright, so this is just the last function that we would need to do, but other than that, it seems like it's working very well. We are already at 27 minutes. I think we will make this function, but I'm not sure if we will. Actually, yeah, we will make this function and see how it goes. So we'll go into our quest module, and similarly to how we made this, we'll do new quest, function new quest, colon add to quest list. If self.stats is equal to nil, or self.stats is equal to this, then return end. Local PLR GUI will be equal to player.player GUI. Local quests equals to player GUI dot quests, and local queue frame is going to be equal to quests dot quests frame. Our local background is going to be equal to queueFrame dot bg. And I should probably take a minute to explain this stuff. So quest frame, that is, here, let's make this visible real quick. That is going to be looking like this. So we're going into our quest frame and into our background of it. Once again, if you don't have a background in it, then you would just go into the quest frame and then into the scrolling frame, which I called main quests as the scrolling frame. So basically, in the scrolling frame, we just have a frame. And in this frame, it has a base progress frame, and that looks like this. It's just a thing. It has a frame, which is the background. It has a fill bar in it, which should start at 0.01 size, and the position should be 0, 0. And then it has a progress label, which just stretches across the whole thing, and it is called progress label. Anyways, nothing too interesting about that by itself. There's no scripts in it or anything. That all handles in this function. So anyways, let's continue on. We can make this visible false again. Okay, so back to this. That's just these are just reference variables to that. So now we're gonna reference that scrolling frame that I was talking about. Main quest equals to background.main quests, in case you have like other quest things like side quests shown in that same screen. And then our local quest name label is equal to main quests dot quest name. I don't know if you noticed, but there is a label to display the quest name over here. I think that's this. Yeah, this called quest name, and this will just be the quest name when we get a quest. Anyways, back here, we'll have a local frame equals to main quest.frame, which is what I was talking about a second ago, and then the local base stat frame, which is what I was going over with that fill bar and stuff, will be equal to frame.base progress frame. Quest name label dot text will be equal to player.quest stats. Or actually, wait. Quest name label dot text will be equal to self.name. We'll do stats folder, is going to be equal to player.physical stats, and we'll say for index, comma, child in frame colon get children do. If our child is equal to base stat frame or not child colon is a frame, then continue end. So basically, if our child's not a frame, or if the child is the base stat frame, then we just want to continue to the next child. Otherwise, we want to destroy it, because we want to delete every piece of the UI from the previous quest, basically is what this is doing, resetting it. And now we will do for stat comma rec in self.stats, and we'll do a local clone is equal to base stat frame colon clone. We'll do a local prog label for progress label equals to clone.progress label. A local fill equals to clone.fill. Our local stat equals to our stats folder at our stat, and our prog label dot text should be equal to our stat dot value concatenated with a slash concatenated with our rec concatenated with our stat concatenated with a space between our stat. Then we'll get a local ratio will be equal to our quest, or not quest, just stat dot value divided by our requirement, and our fill dot size will be equal to udem2 dot new ratio comma 0 comma 1 comma 0. So we just want to fill in the x by the ratio, and this is using scale, so it will work perfect, and this should always be full height. You can also use a tween here if you want it to fill up smoothly. We're just going to leave it like this for now, at least. We'll do stat.changed colon connect function, and we will say new val. Actually, we don't even need this. We could just do basically this exact thing here. Actually, the exact same thing here with the ratio as well. Alright, so just like that. And then at the end of this, we'll say clone dot name equals to stat concatenated with prog bar clone dot parent equals to frame, and clone dot visible equals to true. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Any errors before we try to test some stuff? No. Alright, so let's go up to here. We will do the prompt. Boom. We'll skip again. Attempt to concatenate string with an instance. Stat should be, where are we? Here. So the thing is, we use stat for this, and we also used stat here. So we should be using qstat for this stuff. Anywhere where you see the dot value. Okay. And that should be good now. I think we got them all. So let's once again go up to this guy, do the thing, skip. Alright. We don't actually have a toggle button, so real quick I will just go into our player GUI, quest frame visible, and as you see we have the thing, and if we punch it actually fills up. If we do push-ups it also fills up. Okay, so as you see it works good. We don't actually have more quests to test this with, but I guess we could do that in a second. So let's just go ahead and anchor this hitbox real quick, and then we can just grab the whole quest giver and just move him a bit closer. And then what we will do is go into our quest module and just add one more quest quickly so that we could just test. We'll copy this, boom. The adventure continues, sure. Gain 100 for your second mission. I want you to gain 100 psychic. Come back to me once you reach 100 psychic. The stat should be psychic 100. We'll give 250 tokens, sure. And let's go ahead and take a look at that. So first things first, come here. Okay, error. Okay, we have one too many of these guys. Alright, now we should be good. Alright, first of all, if we come up to this first, alright, nothing happens. Attempt to call a nil value. So we will have to fix that, but I think that will be a next video thing because this video is already really long. Sorry about that. But that should be a quick fix next video. Let's just make our quest frame visible real quick, and let's just do these. I think I'm actually just gonna go over here to our players, our physical stats. We'll give them, or actually our multipliers. We'll give a ×10 multiplier for all of them. So now we have full strength. We've done our push-ups. Okay. Alright, so it's not working now with the next quest. It says attempt to call a nil value, which means that quest.current quest completed is a nil value apparently. Quest.current quest completed is right here, so it should not be a nil value. Okay, so this is current quest completed, but it should be current quests completed. So let's just go ahead and make sure that's saved. That changed. Current quest completed. Okay, maybe now it will work. So we get our quest. We skip through the blabbing. Now we check it out. Okay, arithmetic add on nil and number. Okay, that's okay. So I guess what we should have done, or I guess what we should do here is maybe this first. I think we could get rid of that, unindent this, else if, and alright, let's just take a look at this real quick. Boom. Alright, this part still works. And now if we talk to him, okay, well the thing popped up, but the non-finished quest text is not there. Anyways, that should be an easy fix next time. Let's just get this over with real quick. Multipliers ×10 are player GUI, quests frame, visible true. Alright, boom, boom, boom. Currencies is not a valid member. Okay. Leader stats. Oh, we have the folder is called currency here. Currencies. Player.currency. Okay. Once again, hopefully everything should be good now. Okay, there was something there for a second. I couldn't read fast enough if it was the right thing or from the previous thing. Anyways, let's go to our multipliers. 10, our quests, frame, visible, true, punch, punch, push up, push up. Okay, our thing came up. Out of quests, it says next quest giver. Okay, so that is not true, but if current quest ID is less than or equal to 1, that does not seem right. What it should be is less than or equal to, where is this? To 2. I'm basing this if statement off of all of the quest givers are having the same amount of quests, which in this case of right now is going to be 2, so that's why this is 2. I'd say that 10 is a good number for it, but right now we only have 2, so I'm gonna set it to 2 for now. So anyways, 10 multi, our player GUI, quest frame, visible, true, push up, punch, punch, attempt to index nil with current dialogue. Okay, well, that means that this is quest to quest table, current quest giver, quest ID. Okay guys, well this video has been 45 minutes long. We really should end it here. The little bugs that are happening right now, I'll figure them out and I will share the fix at the beginning of the next video, and also tell me what you guys want to see next, since now the quests will be done. Anyways guys, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one. Peace.